to make this happen. That's a double cheeseburger with cornbread and fries with peppers and onions on top. That's a fine meal fit for a king. Okay, we're going to spend a little bit of time in the Airstream. It's all closed up right now. The plumbing is turned off. Everything is protected from the temperature changes, which are incredible here. But the one thing that does work very well in the winter is the stove and the oven, which is what we're going to use to make some cornbread. Nothing fancy, just store-bought mix. So let me go and turn on the propane. That'll do it. Now we just turned on the gas. I have to go light the pilot. Okay, I turned the gas on outside. Turn the valve on here. And it takes a minute or so before you get any gas to the stove. Probably a little bit of moisture in the propane lines maybe. All right, so now we know we have propane to the oven and stove. Now, I don't know how much of this you're going to be able to see. I'll try to light the pilot. And it takes a little bit to get there's a safety valve and a heat sensor. All right, we are good. Now in a few more seconds, the elements should come on. The pilot right there, and yeah, the elements. Real simple, doesn't take any electricity. Once that pilot's lit, it stays lit as long as you're here until you turn off the gas. You want to bring this up to about 450 degrees. And there's a pilot right there. Let's try that one. Hey, let there be fire. And all four are lit and burning, and the stove is on. Now just this alone will warm up this space pretty good, you know, during the day. It doesn't do much at night, trying to keep things warm. You put a pot of water on one of these burners and let it just roll slowly. Better yet, cook a soup or a stew overnight so you have it all day the next day to eat, and it keeps you warm all night while you sleep. Let me turn off these guys. I don't really need them all on, burning propane. Okay, the stove is on. And we are gonna get to making some cornbread. Yeah, that's about all we can do with the Airstream at this point. It has a heater. It's a propane furnace. It was probably never used in its entire life. I've been advised not to try turning it on. It could work great or it could blow up, so we don't do that. We have a Dometic refrigerator that runs on electricity or propane. When we've been in RV parks, like down at Nickerson Park, I've plugged in and used it. It works great, makes ice, it keeps things bone cold. It will freeze beer if you're not careful on the top shelf, keep in mind. It also runs on propane. I haven't had it running on propane. I have to clean out the jets. Apparently spiders like to make webs inside the LP jets. So I never got to it. I've played with it a little bit. It has a pilot on it just like the stove and the water heater. Most of the time I'd rather work out of a cooler. And if I'm here in the wintertime, as you've seen, so I keep my food between the curtain and the window where it stays nice and cold, where it's far away from the heat. So I really don't have a big problem with food storage here. I don't keep a lot of refrigerated items. I stop and get fresh milk every time I come up. Same thing with eggs. All right, it's mid-February. We're hanging out at the RV camp and we're making cornbread. The first item's going to be a nice farm fresh egg. Very nice. Give it a little swish. Third of a cup of milk. Give it a little swish. It's looking good. 1 packet of cornbread mix. This may take more than I can do with one hand. Okay, just get it mixed, not too much, then let it sit. Let's get this pan prepared. I'm going to coat it with a liberal layer of butter. That ought to be good. Pan is greased. The mix is mixed. There we go. Everything's a bit cold, so she's moving slow, but it is moving. The oven is heated to 425 degrees. This should take about 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. You want it golden brown, you stick it with a toothpick, comes out clear, clean. Ooh, that was loud. Oh, I did it again. Letting that move itself in place. Okay, now it's just a matter of waiting for the oven to heat up to 425. Okay, we are at 425 degrees. Cornbread is settled for a little bit. Some air bubbles are coming to the top. So into the oven we go. And there it'll stay for about 15 to 20 minutes, or until it is golden brown and delicious. It's been about 12, 13 minutes, and I gotta go check on a cornbread. Ooh, very slippery down here, a lot of melting. Oh, it smells like cornbread in here. Oh boy. Oh, that looks perfection. It worked like a charm. Good old TP. Ooh, it looks really good. I don't need to check, that's perfect. I could smell it's perfect. A little crispy around the edges. It's a beautiful cornbread. Nice and crunchy. Oven's up to 450. Take this baby off the fire. Sounds good. Woo. Okay. Peppers and onions are sauteing in the non-stick pan. Burger is ready. Cornbread has been waiting for us, and I've got some French fries to go with it. Let's make this happen. That's a double cheeseburger with cornbread and fries with peppers and onions on top. That's a fine meal fit for a king. Okay, that's it. Thank you for joining me for a little bit of cooking in the Airstream up in the Catskills in the middle of the winter. We've got snow all over the place. We're having a great time up here. Spending a couple of nights at the RV camp. We're sleeping in the cabin. I'm just using the RV to cook some cornbread right now. Everything in here is all shut down except for the stove. So, take care. Thanks for watching. Thank you everybody for coming along on this trip, keeping me company in front of the fireplace in the snow. Having a beautiful time up here in the great northern Catskills, camping at the RV campground.